With all the exciting things happening, there's also a lot of really scary things happening in the space. Scams, a lot of people trying to take advantage of people who are new to crypto and don't understand it.
The blockchain is what we call kind of a pseudo-anonymous type of network. So you get a lot of projects that the founders of the projects decide to remain anonymous, but a lot of times they're doing that so that they can run away with all your money.
So I was introduced to Fame Lady Squad as a potential collector. It was the first all-female generative avatar collection on the Ethereum blockchain. And that was, at the time, it was a really big deal. There was a very clear lack of diversity and representation in the space. Project sold out immediately. The founders made about $1.5 million US at the time. But about a month or so later, it came to light that the founders were imposters. So they were not, in fact, women behind the project, but they were men pretending to be women. It was this big deal. It was this big scandal. There were blockchain sleuths that really uncovered this truth by connecting them to other projects where they were claiming to be different types of people. The values of the project plummeted immediately, and it felt like an experience that could really discourage women from wanting to explore the space.
Somewhere around 20% of people in the NFT space are women. So that's a huge discrepancy, and it was very discouraging to me. And there was a minute when I thought, what is the point? If this isn't a safe space for women or an equitable space for non-cis men to thrive and find success, then why am I here? And I was talking about that to a friend, and he said that it's important for me to stay in the space in order to push for change, that nothing is going to happen if all of the women decide that it's just not for them. There has to be somebody who is there to make a difference and create a safe space for women, people of color, the queer communities, etc.
To make a long story short, I ended up becoming the smart contract owner for the entire project. I was not planning on this. I just happened to be one of the more engaged community members. When everything unfolded, I decided to make a Discord community for the people who were part of that community to come together in a more productive way. And with that, we're looking to empower women in Web3, let them understand what the possibilities are, and not just with these NFT collectibles, but what are smart contracts? What are the use cases? How might they be thought leaders in their own industry and start thinking about what this technology might mean for them, thinking about the metaverse, thinking about crypto. We really want to make sure women aren't left behind in all of this stuff, and that they can walk into their boardrooms or their organizations and really drive innovation.
What is the climate impact of blockchain? Is Bitcoin going to boil the ocean? Are NFTs destroying the universe? The reason why people understand crypto to have a large carbon footprint, and why as an industry it does, is because the proof of work algorithm that was really majorly implemented in Bitcoin and is also used in Ethereum uses a lot of electricity by design. It's a feature, not a bug. It's on purpose. And that electricity spend is fundamental in securing that blockchain, making sure nobody can disrupt it.
As the blockchain gets larger and more popular and a billion people start to buy NFTs and create crypto wallets, that mining cost, that electricity will go up. So it's important that there are projects out there that are moving towards what we call proof of stake. And that removes high-powered computers solving math problems. Instead, it leverages people owning cryptocurrency in their wallet and having them as a node, be able to check the ledger. And if they check it wrong, then they lose the crypto that's in their wallet on a very basic form.
People say this is like a 99 or a 99.99% reduction in energy usage from proof of work to proof of stake. So along with the transition of Ethereum to proof of stake later this year, there's a whole raft of other really neat blockchains springing up. They are very low carbon already. Some of them are even doing their carbon footprint and offsetting the rest. I myself am extremely excited about the tools that we can build on the blockchain to help proactively get carbon out of the atmosphere and beat climate change. I've been developing carbon offset projects for the last 17 years. And so exploring through that space, I realized that amazing use case for blockchain vis-a-vis climate was to actually put the Paris Agreement carbon markets on the blockchain, connect the national carbon accounts of all of the world, and enable the issuance and exchange of Paris Agreement carbon credits. Well, I'm just so passionate about it, right? Like I eat and breathe it, so.
There is a risk that technology is going to drive us into a much more boxed world where everything within that world is thrown at us through algorithms and through tracking and through other forms of technology spying on us of sorts. I think everybody that's involved in these kind of technologies where there's no real actually set future for them has an obligation to try and do their best to make sure we go down a path that is for the good of humanity.
I think decentralizing the metaverse is crucial. I think that there shouldn't be one single company like Facebook or Meta sitting at the center of it.
If someone's gonna build a metaverse and that thing isn't open, that thing is a closed platform that somebody like Meta owns or Google or Apple owns, that doesn't sound like paradise. That sounds like dystopia to me. And so I think that the only way that a metaverse will exist that I will want to be a part of is if it is somehow deeply embedded in a decentralized technology such that I do have true ownership over the things in that world.
What we see is that there's a lot of opportunity for people, organizations, voices to have an outsized influence on the evolution of this technology. Many of these large tech organizations right now capture a lot of biometric data and actually build sample models of who they think you are, right, and how they think that you're going to react. And so having organizations where privacy is respected, unnecessary data isn't collected, security and privacy centric in the business models is really important to be developing now. And now is exactly the time when we need to be having the realistic conversations around like what actually matters and how do we actually build something that is healthy and not exploitive.